end of day 19 of the Undercover Policing Inquiry. Tranche 2, Phase 2, we've been listening to the evidence of Jacqui. It's been really, really intense, particularly the last section of it. I'm joined with Dave Smith from the Blacklisted Support Group, who's been listening to the evidence this afternoon. What have you made of it, Dave?
Quite honestly, what's really obvious is that it was traumatic to watch it. Traumatic to listen to it, and Jacqui was quite open about the impact undercover police spying has had on her mental health and the effects it's had on her family. It was, there was parts of it where Jacqui moved to a house in Dagenham, so literally we lived around the corner for each other for many years. Yeah. And so sometimes when she was talking, it was quite harrowing. Sometimes it was quite funny. Very funny. Yeah. Sometimes it was like, it reminded me of like talking to my aunties or talking to me cousins or stuff like that, or people at school. I mean, it was that kind of proper working class humour at times, self-deprecating working class humour, but traumatic at the same time. It was difficult to listen to, and there were times when you could have heard a pin drop. The bits that are going to be reported in the newspapers tomorrow are going to be about Debenhams, where she was repeatedly asked, and she repeatedly said that Bob was involved, Bob was the organiser. She months before it happened, Bob had told her it was going to be Debenhams and which Debenhams stores. After the event, she was told by him that he had organised it, but he wasn't stupid enough to be arrested. The idea that this police officer has been, basically an agent provocateur who has organised incendiary devices to be planted in major department stores, which burnt some of the department stores to the ground. And this is the same individual who was awarded an MBE after he retired from the police. That's the stuff that's going to be in the newspapers. That and the stuff about the fact that, it was so traumatic, I've sort of missed the other huge bit about the fact that, Bob Lambert fathered a child with Jacqui while on deployment with him.
And do you know what she said at the very, very end? Yeah? And Bob told her it was all authorised at the highest level. That's what she said. Bob told her. And we're going to see from Bob next week what he says.
Yeah, and it's quite clearly that when Bob told her that, it was since he's been uncovered as an undercover police officer, he's come back into her life again. Yeah. And it's very obvious listening to, Jacqui talk that he has been whispering in her ear and telling her stories again, and she openly admitted that the man's a trained, skilled liar, and it might be that the things she's been told by him are completely untrue. Well, I think more than a little bit that there might be that the things that she's told him since 2012 are completely untrue. Talk about their morals and ours. It's just, there reaches a point where I'm just a little bit shell-shocked by it, the accusations, that he was making against various people of, over the last 2 or 3 days of evidence, which I can say I've only been able to follow because of the tweets and because of these short videos you do, because it's not, you can't see it online on YouTube anymore because of restriction orders. The evidence is just falling apart. All of the police stuff is being shown up to be complete and utter lies and fabrications, and it just almost sounds like they're just making this shit up in order to justify their lifestyle. It's very difficult to see, especially the more you hear about these undercover police officers. They were little more than like a it's like a grooming gang.
Yeah.
Quite honestly,
It's not like it is.
It's a grooming gang
Yeah.
where they're being paid by the state and given false IDs, false, bank accounts, with unlimited amount of money, different, addresses, to basically go around and have sexual relationships with however many young women they can, and manipulate people, and it's affecting their mental health. I mean, in any civilised society, some of these coppers would be undrawn and quartered.
Yeah.
But what can you say? Jacqui might be non-violent, but I'm not. So.
Yeah, no, it's fucking disgusting is what it fucking is. Like the levels to which it's very clear that Lambert is still being manipulative towards Jacqui. I mean, he's told the inquiry that he knew nothing about Debenhams. He told Jacqui that he was just organising it, but he didn't plant the devices. She still believes him on that, which is like, I mean, she said herself, maybe I'm being gaslit. I think we probably fucking were. I mean, like we've come across a lot of reprehensible characters with this whole undercover policing thing, but I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find anybody worse than Bob Lambert. The fact that he's still being so manipulative, and he's still, I mean, you only have, after witnessing a day of Jacqui giving evidence, it's really, like I say, it's harrowing. You get an impression of how traumatised she is. Other things have happened in her life which have been traumatising as well, but this particularly, I mean, she talked about the point she was at in her life after all the chaos she'd experienced in 2012, where things were starting to kind of settle down and she was getting some peace, and then this came, like she described it as a boot coming down from heaven, splatting her, and that she said she'll never get over it. It's destroyed her life. And it's clear that Bob Lambert doesn't give two fucks about that. All he cares about is looking after his own arse. It's really disturbing that somebody can be that callous, that cruel, that manipulative. We will hear from him next week. We know what I have to say. We're back tomorrow with Helen Steele, giving more evidence. She gave some evidence on Tuesday. She's back tomorrow with more. That'll be worth watching. Yeah, we probably have to get out of here because this building is shut now, and everybody's like clearing off. So if the lights turn out while we're talking, sorry about that. Is there anything else you want to say, Dave, before we go?
The only thing I want to say is, the Blacklist Support Group have been in this public inquiry since it started. We're all in it because we've been spied on, and the police gave our information, to big employers to stop us get jobs. But what we suffered is nothing to what these women suffered. The women activists, the human rights abuse, it's absolute. I mean, it's filth. The word filth is used to, for a reason, and this is filth. And the women in police spies out of life, and all the women activists who've given evidence here, quite honestly, they deserve a bloody medal, for the work they've done. Proper heroes. I don't really know what to say.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I'll do a Twitter Spaces this evening. If anybody was following today's hearing, please join us and chat about what was said. But we're back again tomorrow for Helen's thing. So just remember, fuck the police, and we'll see you tomorrow.